Hey, good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning. Now, how is gold still moving up like this? I'm waiting for some kind of a retracement here. At first, I thought maybe we could trade this range. It's like about 17, 18 pips. We got this next area here. It's about like 12.3. But I'm actually looking more at these sells. Could be a potential nice little correction or like a pullback. Nice to see you guys here in the chat. Titus, Warren, Mr. Rashid. We got Woods in here. Brian, Architect, Ricardo. Good morning, guys. Luke's in here. We got Vikrant. Trading. What's up, guys? We got Jay in the chat today. Nice. Tall Trader. Good morning. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for maybe like some kind of support to be formed. At least get a little bit of structure, because now this is the London Open over here. We just got London Open. Candlestick moved up about a 24 pips. So this whole range over here, this is about, you know, like maybe 40 pips. Maybe like 40 pips. I think gold is going up due to the tariff agreement of Trump. They have up to 9th of July. Let's see over here. So gold dropped to around 33.30 per ounce on Tuesday amid hopes for possible trade deals that could reduce demand for the safe haven metal. On Monday, President Trump posted letters on Truth Social addressed to leaders of 14 countries, threatening tariffs ranging from 25 to 40%. However, market fears are somewhat eased when Trump signed an executive order delaying the implementation of these tariffs, as well as sweeping reciprocal tariffs from July 9th to August 1st, giving countries nearly 4 additional weeks to reach an agreement. All right, so it seems like, yeah, it seems like gold may be moving up here on these tariffs that Trump's threatening, about 25 to 40%. But at the same time, there's an additional 4 weeks given to reach an agreement. So nothing is set on stone yet. Further weighing on gold prices, a robust U.S. jobs report released last week elevated concerns about a slowing U.S. economy and diminished expectations for a Federal Reserve rate cut in July. So at the same time, that's also weighing on gold. That the U.S. economy is, that the Federal Reserves are pushing the rates. So obviously for July, we're not expecting any rate cuts in July anyway. For me, it still seems a bit uncertain, everything. It seems like price is still going to consolidate, but yeah, that's what it seems like. Even if you look at the daily over here, look at these wicks. There's really no decision. There's a lot of like indecision here in the market overall. Pretty long wicks. What time is it? Oh, all right, let's see. 5 minute. Can we get some structure? Maybe some resistance? Yeah, we're getting resistance here now. We're starting to form resistance. 5 seconds for this candlestick here to close. But yeah, we're currently at some sort of resistance here by 33.39, and I'm looking at this range down towards this next zone, 33.33. So this is kind of like the area that we have to play with. Right? This is the area we have to play with. You have to see if price can break above here, or if it's going to come down to retrace. But yeah, July's been pretty good so far. Price actions were nice. See if I can get like a market fade on this move. I want to kind of like fade this move upwards. Hey Adnan, good morning. BC Drums in the chat. Morning, guys. Doctor in here. Sandile. What's up? What's up? As I'm already in profit, I'm happy with it for today. Chat, who's on smoke? I see you all looking at my crowd. All right, let's see how the 5 minutes here are about to close. There should be some retracement from the push yesterday, I think. Oh, you're talking about this push? This is from the New York session. Price moved up, create Asia highs by 34 33.45. Asia lows 27. Oh, yeah, that would be nice. That'd be a nice move, especially for getting looking to get entries here. But there's a lot of speed bumps though. For price to break below the Asia lows, we still need to get below support levels right here. See what basically price is gonna do. I guess this area could give a pretty good direction on the day. Because if price is gonna go down and re-break its daily lows, man, it has a lot of work to do to get through these other levels here. So this is gonna be quite an interesting kind of spot that we're trading in now. I see we got resistance here. Also, this range above this resistance, it isn't the best range, to be honest. It's not the cleanest range. So let's see. Got about like 1 minute 30 seconds for candle here to close. 1 minute 30. Hope it doesn't give like a V-shaped reversal. I hope it does not. Been waiting for retracement all day to 33.16. Not sure if it will go there. But 33.16, yeah, I feel like it's pretty far off. It's pretty damn far off. You know, I'm just looking at terms of like steps. Like, what is price doing now? That's what I'm focused on. You know, just take it step by step. What is price doing now? Where can it go to that you can start managing your risk and breaking even? Even if you want price to go down all the way there and you get a sell over here, we're just going to take it step by step. One thing I don't like to do is I don't like to speculate on really massive moves. On the daily, there's a lot more speculation on the daily because, you know, higher time frames operate mainly off of fundamentals. So there's a lot more speculation in here. But it looks like the previous daily, man, we had like a really big rejection. You know, this was the range that I wanted to get filled. Looks like it did push down quite nicely. We got about 146 pips once we broke that wick by 33.11, and then price pulling up again. Closed like a bullish doji. Actually, you know, that looks pretty nice because this is like that failed momentum type of candlestick. Right, so wait, let me just go back on the 5 minute. Okay, yeah, this is a failed momentum. You see how I pulled up low volume on that daily close? So I wouldn't be surprised to see this candle get a wick fill over here on this daily now. Currently trading above our SMAs too. We have to get above SMAs. I mean, we have to get below this level. We got dynamic support there. I think that's where the market had an initial reaction off. This was the Asia lows right here, lining up with that SMA. That's, I think, that's the 8 SMA on the daily. And now you can see it's a bit of an indecision candle. So looking at the daily, we're literally 0%. So if you're saying, oh, we're trending bullish or we're trending bearish, man, you just got to look at the daily. You got to look at the daily here. It's literally a doji candlestick. I think people confuse the trends usually with what happened yesterday. So they're going to see this move from the New York session. And then they're going to say, oh, we're trending bullish. But look at this. We're not going anywhere. You can also see what market's been doing since the Asia. Just pretty much moving sideways. Either people confuse them. People usually confuse the daily trend or the daily bias looking at the previous daily like this. Or they can even confuse it by maybe drawing a line, like a trend line like this, and say we're bullish. But you see, that's not being subjective. I mean objective. That's being kind of almost subjective. I am out, up, and about today. I will, however, be following as I can. Oh, nice. About 2-3 minutes here. I think the stop loss wouldn't make so much sense though. Let me see. Could we get away with it? Could we weasel our way out of this? Or into this? Damn, that's a pretty big stop. It's a pretty big stop, sir. There, make it work. Would be nice to see if the candlestick can just pull up heavily. I don't know what it's doing. It looks like, oh, yeah, it's still coming down. Looks like a V-shaped reversal. It's not going to give an entry. Yeah, this range definitely. I think maybe I'll wait for some buys now. Yeah, definitely gotta wait for some buys. Unless I can get a really tight stop. But yeah, it looks like V-shaped reversal. These are quite difficult to trade. I think the only way you can trade it really is if you're using structure, like most recent structures, maybe on the 1 minute. Came straight down. How many scalps do I have in it? Oh, this is Ricardo. 3 with this one. Yesterday I didn't get the notice. I guess you're still shadow banned. Try unsubscribe and then resubscribe. And then try turn the notice on and off again. I was talking to YouTube and they said they actually have a problem with that. Sometimes it happens. And sometimes you can be subscribed to a channel and it's going to say you're unsubscribed. Price is just ranging? Yes. Oh. Done. All right, nice. Yeah, it should be good, hopefully. The 30-minute fake looks nice. Oh yeah, definitely. Brutal 30-minute fake out. Would have been a nice confluence for a sell. I wish the sells did come in earlier. A pure fake out. No wonder it's a V-shape. No wonder it's a V-shape pullback because buyers are getting screwed up there. Ever since YouTube started the ad block war, it's been going downhill. Yeah, and I don't know if it's the videos that I watch, but usually I sometimes like to fall asleep to videos, and if I'm doing it on my phone, I don't have an ad blocker, and there's so many ads. I don't know if it's the videos I'm watching or like recently they've been pumping out a lot more ads as well. You gotta wake up like every 15-20 minutes to skip an ad, while at the same time you're trying to sleep. All right, so we just tapped the bottom of the range here. So maybe we gotta see price move up again. Got like this 56 pip range, so it's still waiting. I think the next point for sells is probably gonna be below like 33.30. But there's no good stops. Stops are pretty massive. Oh, this is such a bad fake out. I believe this was the London Open fakie. You kind of better see on the 30. The liquidity grab above. That was most likely that London Open fakie. Use Brave. I heard Brave is pretty good. I used Brave for some time. I can't remember why I stopped using it though. I got Mozilla. Mozilla is pretty nice as well. It has an ad block. But it's, I don't know, maybe Brave on the phone? I think you mean like Brave on the phone? I haven't tried Brave on the phone and YouTubed. That could be a nice hack. Yeah, I never pay for premium. I don't care how much money I make. I could be a billionaire and not pay for premium on YouTube. I paid for it once, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. I use Chrome and VPN. The resistance you have is also 4-hour resistance, so if it breaks, should be good. Oh yeah, we got true 4-hour resistance here. Oh man, the sells look. It looks like price wants to tumble though. Looking at the higher time frames, got a small retracement upwards. We have 4-hour resistance zone right over here. Yeah, very nice sells. That 30-minute liquidity grab. There's quite a bit of. That was a nice entry. But just not for me. No entry confirmations for me. But right now, if you look at the 4-hour is ranging here. You know, at the same time, we're just ranging sideways at resistance. So it could be either building orders here, so it can break that resistance with volume, or we're gonna see a big retracement downwards. On the 4-hour, it looks good. Break these lows and then come down like this. So now we're at the first speed bumps here by 33.33. Daily is down 0.11%. Not much. Head and shoulders. Head and shoulders. I keep on not holding. The day will come. Yeah, it is hard. It's hard holding moves. It's easier holding moves if you secure some partial. If you're warming up into getting good at really holding positions. Because you see, the thing with holding is, I feel like people who like those big trades, they just catch them because they hold all their trades. You know, they hold all their trades. But if you're too used to scalping, then you gotta like pick and choose which ones to hold. So maybe you can say like, you know, this is what I used to do like every week when I was practicing holding trades. I would say, you know, maybe like 2 to 3 trades. 2 to 3 trades in the week. I would pick and choose which ones have a higher possibility of getting a runner. Then I'll just hold. Most of the time it was like maybe, yeah, around like 2 to 3 actually. 2 to 3 trades. And I used to love the Asia session for this. So, you know, I would find price, let's say, come down during the Asia. And I would be like, okay, you know, how's this range? Are there specific ranges I'm trying to look for? And then try and hold it throughout the Asia. Because, you know, if that doesn't work out, then, you know, that's maybe 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3. Right? So it's a bit more manageable that way. Get better at reading price as well. Where's those people paying for Microsoft Office stuff? Yeah, exactly. Microsoft Office, Windows. Like yesterday I got out early on the hourly and my friend, she held for 6 hours and banked like 4K. Yeah, it's about like building habits, you know, like if you definitely have a habit for securing early, you're just going to naturally secure. I mean, I think sometimes I'm going to hold a trade and I see the profit. I'm like, nah, let me just take it. Only thing I pay is VPN because if not, I couldn't see you guys. And I also pay for... Yeah, VPNs are good. What VPN are you using? Still got this 26 pip range. Can we get some struck? I don't like the way candlesticks are just moving down though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just straight bearish. So overall consolidation here. So you got your support below. You got resistance above. But like 137. What's your play, Vic? I'm thinking maybe a sell below this support here. Or like a buy. You know, a buy would be actually much nicer. So I can move this zone, put it over here. Then that would be the buy. Man, I do hope Yared from Texas is alright. I haven't seen him on stream in a while. Since what happened over there on the 4th of July. Man, about like 90 people died, apparently. Over there in Texas. Too late to enter now. I would much prefer a buy. I would even prefer like a fake out situation. You know, price to break below here and then fake out for the buys to fill this range. That would be a lot more cleaner for me. A good VPN is Windscribe. IMHO. I'm using Shadow Rocket. Oh, I haven't heard of those. I know like Tunnel Bear is pretty nice. I think it's called Cyber Ghost as well. What's the other one with a shark name? Surf Shark. NordVPN, kind of expensive though. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Man, just completely bleeding here. This is like the worst trades. If you take a buy and then price just moves down like this. This is like the most painful way to lose a trade. And you just feel like the market is out to get you. Just get like a straight reversal like this. Oh, so painful. Targeting like these lows over here by 33.30. Maybe even got people who held from these areas. This little breakout over here. Looks like there might have been a nice little confirmation there, especially on the 1 minute. I'm seeing a little bit of a fakey situation happening here. Break above the 8 SMA. Re-break the structure highs. And then to continue moving up. What is it with futures that those that trade it make it seem as though those that trade use forex are missing out? You know, there's like some restrictions. People can only trade futures. Some people don't have access to gold spot. So you just like say, hey, you know, this is all that I have to trade. So this is a new thing. But if they had access to gold spot, you know, I think they would trade gold spot. That's what I think. I love gold spot. I don't know, maybe futures has some kind of benefits. Maybe like no slippage or zero spread or something like that. I have no idea. I don't trade futures. I've never traded futures. You know, all that I know is GJ and gold. Because when I started trading, I wasn't trading for educating people. You know, I was trading to trade and make money. So, you know, my knowledge base in terms of like a bunch of the other stuff is pretty low. Because, you know, my mentors and a lot of people I was following were trading GJ and gold. So it's like, man, I need to master GJ and gold because this is what's going to pay me at the end of the day. You know, the market doesn't pay me based off of how much I know. It pays me off of like how well I know the instrument that I'm trading, not how well I know the overall market. So yeah, I think this is, I think it's pretty important to master psychology of an instrument because there's so many things you could possibly trade here that you don't want to waste too much time because the longer you stick with an instrument, the better it is you obviously naturally get at that, right? If you think about like race car driver is so much better trade racing on one course. If he just mastered one course, he'd be freaking deadly on that course, you know? He could hold the world title for years and years and years just because that's the one course that he knows how to race. And you know, it is like that to some extent. Like people race in their home countries and they know the courses and they, you know, they get like a much better edge over other people. So it's much better to at least have the opportunity to master something. I trade gold futures. Nice. But yeah, I mean, the price action is quite similar though. I really don't want to take a sell over here. It's range about like 24 pips. I don't like the way candles have already come down. Like pure V-shaped reversal here. Literally like no structure. A little bit maybe an accumulation break here possibly. Distributor to the downside. This would be beautiful as a little fakie, man. I would love to get a fakie here. And then price to push up again. Yeah, exactly. Futures has zero spreads. That's why people like futures trading, but high fees in commission. Yeah, I guess so. Need to break below this area. Now wait for 5 to 10 minutes or so, then test the downside and buy a reverse. 10 minutes? Yeah, I mean like in like 10 minutes. Because the next candlesticks could start creating resistance here. And come down like this. Maybe stop loss above here to retest the lows. That could be one idea on how to trade this range below that support. But at the same time, I think what I would like to see more is this. And then I could use that as a fake out confluence for price to break the highs to keep moving upwards. Yeah, that would be the most ideal. I see a sweep of the previous day's highs, an Asia session high, and then we had massive reversal. So you go 1 minute 20 seconds for candle here to close. How are we gonna close? Is this gonna be another V-shaped reversal? Hopefully not. Hopefully you don't get something like that happen. Gold 1 hour, if you zoom out, is a big head and shoulders. Oh, I gotta keep zooming out. Yeah, but we have one. I guess you could think about it like that. But what about this area here? Maybe it already had its move. That was the right shoulder, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This was a push down. See where the volume came in? I'd say GJ intervention was the worst way I lost trade because it slipped me like an avalanche. Ooh, gotta be trading. If we take a buy here, gotta be oh, possibly we could try break above the SMAs, but yeah, we're gonna be trading against SMAs. Yeah, something to keep in mind. Let's see on the 15 minute below SMAs. 30 minute could be trying to break above them. Ooh. Let's see the hourly. What time is it? 45 minutes past. So we got about like 15 minutes for hourly candle here to close. Actually, a retracement, a little bit of a retracement upward, I guess would be the most ideal. But let me see if we re-break these lows. Because you know, the thing is, like, if price wanted to fake out, it wouldn't be re-breaking the lows. It would not be re-breaking these lows. Right here, so I'm gonna lock in a bit. Oh, I like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. The thing is, like, this trade will have drawdown for the... I'd expect more drawdown for the buys. Because I hourly might need to close first. The hourly might need to close first so the next hourly can push up. Just gonna have this guy sitting right over here just in case. This is what I really want. Just in a big consolidation on the HTF, yes. 1 minute 30. How can we close? I would like it to push up a bit more. Actually, I don't mind if it pushed up a bit more. Take over these SMAs as we break. Now it's all up to this last 1 minute candlestick. Looks like it's still ripping up. A pretty low chance that this is going to close bearish. You trade with your capital or prop firm? No, it's a live account. It's my capital. So, you know, don't have any rules. Yeah, looks like it's about to close. Oh, wow. Is it really flipping? Look at this. Last 10 seconds here. Last 10 seconds, the whole game could shift. But I hope it doesn't do that. Let's see. 2 seconds. All right, so it closed bullish. So still waiting over here. Let's see what it does. It's my capital. Nobody else's. It's mine. You know, some people ask me, like, with the funded accounts, that if you get funded, can you withdraw the amount? Wouldn't that be nice? Pay for like a $200 for, like, I don't know, 50k account or something, and then pass the challenge, then withdraw the full 50k. That would be such a hack. That would be a break of the matrix. I think I would be doing that. Why would I trade if we can do that? Some people genuinely believe that's what it is. Because I get those questions in my inbox sometimes. Alright, so no entries yet. I don't know why, but the delay here is crazy. No, the delay here is the best. This is the best delay. Let me check my delay settings. Yeah, this is the best delay. There's a usual, like, YouTube will always have some kind of delay, like 10 seconds. Why no entry? Because price is moving upwards right now. There's no structure, but we are breaking above the SMAs. If you got like a really big delay, just refresh your browser. Because maybe it just means that when you started stream, it was already kind of delayed. Because, you know, like when the stream starts, let's say you're waiting on stream and the stream starts, the guy who, let's say, just clicks on the thumbnail will be ahead of you and you're still going to be waiting. They'll be watching the advertisement. You're going to be waiting a little bit and then you're going to get the advertisement. That's if you've already been in the lobby. Wait till you're married. I forgot what "my" means. Yeah, wait till you're successful. You're gonna forget what "why" means, because then your whole family is gonna come and they're gonna say, "We made it, we made it." Oh, I made it. That's usually what happens, though. Especially if you come from I feel like third world countries. They have to support their family a lot more often. Support your aunties and everybody. So if you make it, man, and people know that you made it, everybody's gonna be asking for a handout because they're gonna think we made it. Man, look at this. This is ridiculous. Price is just having a V-shaped reversal continuously. Come on, Goldie, give me a freaking entry already. Always been dubious about funded accounts. Man, look at this. This is so annoying. This is so annoying. What did Kanye West say? Kanye West says, "At this rate, we're gonna die broke." Something like in one of his rap songs. I forgot the lyrics. But he can't say no to nobody. At this rate, my wife says we both gonna be broke. Something like that. When you got your own family on payroll. Man, I'm so bad with remembering lyrics. Only when the song is playing I actually can remember. Yeah, but that's wild. Having your own family on payroll. Your own family blackmailing you now because you're successful. That's crazy. And like Goldie's literally mopping this whole area up. It's left so little of a range. It's like it's playing it's like ping pong. It's ping ponging between these two levels. Ding 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 ding. Can remove that sell position. Man, Goldie's so stingy. Moved up like almost halfway through the range to give structure. It doesn't look pretty. Those cells up there would have been nice. They had a lot more confluence. The thing is, I don't want to get stuck in a retracement, you know? That's why it's kind of annoying that it pushed up so much already. There's not a lot of confluence for this move. Unless some kind of structure can continue to build before it breaks. At the moment, nobody believes that I can become successful with trading. Yeah, a lot of the time, most people are not going to support that idea because not a lot of people know about it. They don't really know much about what trading is. Man, I think I lived 20... alright, so I was like 25. I think I was about 25 the first time I ever heard of trading. You know, so I don't think a lot of people are going to have the opportunity to know what that is or how that works, really. I was 25 when I first started trading in university. And probably like 24, 25-ish. And I still didn't care. You know, my friend was still showing me this. And he was in uni and he was buying himself a nice little Mercedes-Benz. I'm like, damn. Me and this guy are from the same hometown. He's come to a foreign country just like me. And he's already buying himself a Merc. Like, something's not adding up here. You know, and then he showed me this thing that he was doing in class one time, and I still even then didn't care about it. I was just like, okay, cool. You know, it was only after we finished uni, then I started, like, I got a YouTube recommendation towards the end of the year, and then I'm like, oh damn, this is a thing this guy used to do. Then I started like contacting him, and you know, I started trading with him a little bit, learning a little bit from him, and then I started that journey. But most of the time, you're gonna see once, you're not gonna pay too much attention to it, and then it comes back again later. So you can imagine for most people in life, they're not going to understand, like, they're not really going to fully understand it. It's probably the same thing as me just seeing it for the first time. They're like, all right, whatever. But the good thing is, man, a lot more people know about it nowadays. So there's a higher chance that they could know a little something than back in the days. Grandpa Vic. Back in my day. And you know, stuff like chess. Chess also back in the day used to be for the chess was basically like gambling sport back in the day. It was for the idlers. The idlers would just be on the streets playing chess. And it had the same sort of you know, thing like gambling. But nowadays we look at chess, it's like a whole sport. So a lot of things change, you know. When I used to skateboard as a teenager, skateboarding was never considered a sport. But now it's considered a sport. So yeah, a lot of things change. I think trading is like a sport. You know, we're going to see trading is going to become a sport soon. We already got the Robbins Cup. And a little bit more of like a well-known type of sport. Maybe you can watch it on TV as well. It still hasn't become that much of a household thing. Trading competitions in your local town. You know, like when I started gaming as well online, man, very few people used to game. Very few people, especially in my country, very few people used to game. I'd always be put in servers like from different countries. But now if I go online, man, like, you're only gonna get the best connection because now everybody's gaming. Everybody's seeing the potential of like, you know, Twitch streaming and just gaming in general and making a lot of money from it. So I think it's really awesome. Yeah, I think this stop loss here is probably gonna be too big. Need a bit more structure. What's this price action? Exactly, it's just ping-ponging, you know, it's way too much volume, no entry confirmations. It's moving up, moving down. Not fun, not fun. Skating was a hooligan's part-time thing. You seen the new skate game? It looks pretty interesting. It's been a while. It's a lot more wacky than the other skates. But it's a free game. So they just want you to buy things in game. So they're not, it's like a free game, but it's actually pretty cool. This is a new hour with no top wick. Oh yeah, nice. True, we got the new hourly open. No top wick. Maybe we can get price rip back upwards. Kind of reject that level over there. But you see, it's like such a nasty area that we're trading. Look at this. Look at the amount of wicks that are forming within this area. It's like a lot of indecision. This is today we have 0 fundamentals as well. So we don't have anything to look out for, which is nice. I will go heavy. I agree with you, Vic. Yeah, just go heavy on what you believe in, you know. Like, just think about everything. Like, even YouTube back in 2012 was, no one was really doing it and people didn't see the potential, right? But you got some few people who did, like PewDiePie. You know, PewDiePie, one of the biggest YouTubers, and been doing it for ages. You know, and it's only later that people, you know, the problem is if you're waiting for people to catch on, you're catching on as well too late. That's usually when it's already too late. You know, Bitcoin, for example, a lot of people talk about Bitcoin back in the days. No one believed in it. And the moment everybody starts talking about it, it's already too late. It's probably already had majority of its moves. You're having Elon Musk talking about it. You know, everybody's talking about it at that point. Another buy idea. I'm hoping to see if it comes. Sweep of the Asia lows. Some structure for some biasing, some sell weakness. I'm still thinking maybe like, could still try and catch some buys within this range from here to here. Gbpjpy. Oh, price just came down. Yeah, price is being really greedy right now. It's being really greedy. Small little accumulation break over there though. I think this is like on the 1 minute, pretty nice. I also think this is like that was a retracement from creating a new lower low. See, new lower, oh, price dumping here. So price came down, creating new lower low, and it did, I think, a retracement in the golden zone. In the golden zone, and that's the distribution as well. That's the thing where I was kind of like worried about the buys, low-key, because I think this would have been the retracement. There's a probability for retracement there. Okay, so this, all this means just gotta sit in your hands. In your Discord, Space Angel analyzed gold, and I think 33.12 is the mark. Oh man, this thing is just completely dumping. I was looking at 33.12. And what's this? 33.85. 33.80. Dun, 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 dun. Sell on Bitcoin. Patience pays. Let's go. First trade, no success. L. I would still take it again. Maybe next time, since I had the confluence of swing entry, put a sell below the lowest low. Low console breakout. Dun dun. Consolidation breakout. Confluence is 8 SMA. Swing entry model in the 5-minute. Oh, that should have had a very nice chance to play. Maybe it was this. Yeah, it looks like this was the same move. This seems like the same move here. Let's see. Crazy risk management to end at BE. To end at BE. Nice consolidation play. 65% hit. Then it later moved. Oh, yeah. It looks like it was grabbing some orders and then it later moved. Got like a small little fake out situation here. And then rebroke the highs and then continue to move upwards. But there's been a lot more ranginess. You can see here, rangy over here. A lot of wicks as well. This is a nice little breaky here. Correct this move on the left-hand side. Well, got revenge. 1W, 1L. Nice little sell. It would be nice to catch a move something like this. 2 Ws, 1 L. Okay, nice. Four-hour looks clean. It's starting to break below the 4-hour lows here by 33.27. We're retapping those 4-hour SMAs though, having again some small reactions off of that dynamic support. But 4-hour looks really nice and clean. Hourly also looks pretty good. This is now that move again from yesterday during the New York session. It's like that was a liquidity spike over here. Price came down, retraced, new hourly opened. And still, what's interesting is that hourly does not have a top wick yet. I have to push up about 43 pips to create that top wick. 30 minutes breaking below support. 30-minute looks clean as well to the downside. Oh, NASDAQ? I don't trade NAS. Looking for these buys. I don't understand those charts. Not saying they're bad, but very confusing. Oh, these charts? What charts? I think this would be as confusing to you as maybe if somebody is using some scientific trading or like a very specific way of trading. Like let's say they're doing areas like this, and then they're saying this is a reaction over here, and it's very like refined, and you have these FVGs and that kind of stuff. It's more confusing to me because the way I think, like I'm just looking at the candles and the way the candlesticks are flowing. You know, so for me, something like this, it's quite obvious that this is like some kind of a liquidity grab. You know, we had accumulation, manipulation, and now it's distributing upwards. You know, but I think people look at trading very, very differently. Maybe for somebody else, the reason this happened was point of control. Say it's a point of control or a Sunday open or something like that. So I would say, like, honestly, I would say the way I'm reading price, just mainly off candles, right? So it's kind of like it's more foundational than anything. I feel like a lot of these other ways of looking at it can get a bit more confusing because it's more of like a strategy, right? And we're not talking about candlesticks, because you could imagine, like, I can literally I could go to Wall Street right now and I can have a conversation with a random guy who's probably doing something completely different, but we can agree that market, for example, is moving sideways. Oh, damn. What is this? S, you're going crazy here on my screen. Yeah, we can all agree that market is moving sideways. Now, when we start talking about FVGs and all that other stuff, it's going to be harder to have a universal conversation. So that's the way I look at market structure. You know, I look at it in a way that I can talk to anybody about it. So it depends. I guess it depends on like your experience, and it's quite an easy read. Like if you look at my chart right now, I only have 3 lines. We've seen that the market has somewhat moved up over here. It consolidated here. It's not the cleanest consolidation though. Maybe that was like just the 30-minute fake out, which we did see liquidity grab. And you can say stuff like, you know, head and shoulders potentially right here. This is the right shoulder volume that just came in. But yeah, besides from that, right now it's just in a distribution phase. It's currently at support, which we can see it's at support. This is distribution. This is also distribution, because essentially this is what you're trying to catch, right? You're trying to catch these moves. You're not trying to catch a consolidation. You're trying to catch a breakout. So it's much easier to like trail where price was coming from. So you see this area, consolidation, and that's a breakout, correct? Like it's very objective. Like you're not trying to catch a consolidation. You're trying to catch this. Whenever you make profit, you're making profit off a move like this. And then most of the time, it's just not going to be giving you anything. It's just like waiting most of the time. So even if you look at example like this, you know, it's just about understanding the concepts at least. You see price was moving sideways. Look at what this is. See? Fake out. Because why price break below support and then start to come up aggressively like that? You know, why does that happen? Why does that happen? Why is it 30-minute breaks, highs like this, and then starts to come down aggressively? Why does that happen? You know, and then the more you see that happen, the more you start to realize like, oh, this is the same thing that just happened right here. It's just printing with more candlesticks. Look at this, break below support. Why is this happening again? Why is it pushing up like that? You know, then you start like really ask yourself and you dig into these questions a bit more, and you start to realize there's a way that the candlesticks operate. You know, you don't have to overcomplicate it with all these other analysis. There's a certain way that there's a certain psychology of what it does. And that's kind of what I'm reading into. But that's why I mean, like, market's only going to move 3 directions, moving bearish, sideways, and bullish. But then you have these other variables where it's like you have to do a little bit more technical work. And then that's where the psychology part kind of comes in. Because otherwise, you know, market's just moving upwards, sideways, and bearish. That would be super easy to trade, right? But then we always have like fake outs, liquidity grabs, and different market environments. Yeah, that's when the psychology part really comes in. But as far as structure goes, it's quite simple. The hardest part you should be having a difficult time with is the psychology. I would say at least you should nail the structure part. Again, I don't know how y'all are looking at the markets, you know? Maybe for me it's simple and maybe it's not as simple. But just from my experience and what I've been through, I think it's quite straightforward to understand for anybody who's been trading for at least 1.5 years. Bomber cloud shape. Yeah, bomber cloud shape.
Bomber cloud.
Because, you know, there's some streams, like, I try to watch other people's streams sometimes, and I don't know how they get to picking the right zones. Some people use zones from, like, areas like here. Or, like, all the way back over here. And, man, like, I remember trying to do analysis like this because it's so different. Like, every day is going to be, like, a whole different structure. You know, that involves a lot of higher time frames as well. You're looking at higher time frames. You're picking the lower time frames. Looking at some bounces. I don't know why that would make sense to somebody from a level all the way back over here. Like, this is so much harder to replicate. This is more of like, I think you're just good at reading higher to lower time frames and you just have your own way of doing it. But man, I don't think you can replicate. That's going to be quite difficult for you to replicate. So for me, I just focus on what price is currently at this very moment doing. This is much more easier to replicate. A lot more people are going to be able to see this than anything that I draw back over here. And I want a lot more people to see it as well because it increases the chances of the trade playing out. So if you see, for example, like right here, this 30-minute grab. Come on, man. Like, a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to be like, that's a 30-minute liquidity grab. So what follows next? You know, melt. A melt follows next. That's the type of trading that I like to do. I think like every moment in the market is unique. So yeah, now we're just waiting to see what happens. I'll have this crown back now. Yes, go for it. No, the ones with all the triangle shapes. Yeah, the triangle shapes are quite confusing. Those are like, I think harmonics or something. Or butterfly Fibonacci sequences. And some scientific methods, possibly. You know, that's why people like the lower time frames. Because, you know, if you use something like Wyckoff, it's much more fun going Wyckoff on the lower time frames. Because you get a bit more structure. It's arguably maybe a little bit easier to trade a Wyckoff theory on the lower time frames as well. Because the higher time frame is going to take a really long time for you to get that spring and all of that noise. You know, the guy who I used to trade with, the guy who showed me trading, also traded kind of like similar the way I do. You know, like the way I think I recall him explaining things now, it was very similar. It was quite similar the way he was looking at markets. He was looking more of what was currently going on in that moment. And yeah, I thought I was being a smartass one time. I think I was learning some really smart money concepts at the time. Took a buy on gold, but I was buying at a resistance. I was buying gold at a resistance, and then he took a sell. Man, that was a humbling moment. That's when I realized, shit, maybe I don't know it all, you know? I also had that, oh, it's definitely going up. Or, you know, sometimes in chat, if I take a sell, people are going to be like, oh, no, it's definitely going up, man. We got FEG there, blah, 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 blah. That was me, man, until I got humble, dude. And when you get humble with someone that you know like this and also trying to kind of impress, I was like, shit, man, I don't even really know what I'm doing here. And he got like, he made, I think, $1,000 on that move. And I lost like I think maybe like, you know, 20, 50 bucks, something like that. He made like $1,000, like $800, $1,000. I was like 20, 50 bucks. Yeah, I think being arrogant is one thing that really stops people from being successful. You know, also when you start businesses, man, you think you know everything. You think you're going to start a business and you know everything until given enough time, you're going to realize that there's a road ahead of you, that if someone would have told you the direction you're going, then you could have avoided a bunch of other things, you know? You could have saved a lot of money. You could have progressed really exponentially. But when you're doing it yourself, you got to go through the trials and tribulations and also that know-it-all phase. But you know, the best thing about the market is gonna humble and give you what you need. So once you do get humbled, your performance will increase. You'll increase. Will get better. Because now you're more cautious. Now you're more cautious. Let's face it, this is how trading is for all of us, right? This is how it starts. And not how it feels later. Even get lucky. This is like you're in a few months in now. You're a few months in now, you're learning a bunch of stuff. And then it gets getting crazy. I got taken out by liquidity sweep. I had the buy earlier, 1.5% down for the day. Man, like, it's so boring. Price is literally moving in it's just moving without any structure. It's moving literally up, down, up, down. There's nothing. These are like impulsive entries. Yo, I can't take anything here. I can't take anything here. Just gotta wait. I just gotta wait. Agreed, Vic. I became better when I went through the wars myself versus someone giving me cheat codes. Takes time for mindset to set. Yes. Yeah, more mature, like even in industries, you realize like people get a lot more patient. You know, businesses and everything. They start to second guess themselves a lot, and they're also at the same time having a good balance between like second guessing and you know, being cynical and making decisions. Like I think experience shows. Experience really shows. To compare an entrepreneur from day one or year one and somebody who's been doing it for a long time. Usually, like I find like businesses which start like 5 years or below the 5-year mark, they're a little bit more ambitious, right? A little bit more ambitious, and they're a little frantic as well, if that's the word. Whereas a more mature person would be a little bit more calm, a little bit more stable. You can somehow see it. So like new traders, man, you tell a new trader to take 1 or 2 trades a day, you're basically sentencing him life to jail or something, you know? They're like, oh man, I can't. One trade, man, this is only $10. How can I make a living off one trade? I need like 5, 10 trades, 1 to 3 risk rewards. Because that's what the math says. In the next year, I'm going to be living in a mansion and I'm going to have a Bugatti. And you know, it starts like that. And then it's like, oh, damn, now I really got to start learning how to actually trade. But the problem is most people give up when things get hard. But it actually gets easier. The more you do it every day, the easier it gets. The hard thing is doing it every day. But the more you do it every day, the easier it gets. Man, if you don't go through trenches, you wouldn't learn anything. It just goes to show how much is there to learn. Yes. I think we've been through the trenches. Honestly, I think this year we're through the trenches so far. Like these first 2 quarters, man, just insane. You're trading during a time when there's a bunch of uncertainty in the market, a lot of volatility, and you know you're still here. So I think that's nice. What do you do aside from trading? I gym. Yeah, I seen that video. This guy got asked, what do you do for a living? And he's like, I gym. Yeah, that's basically it. And when you start having those doubts and those days When you think trading is not for you, then you're on the right path. Get through that and you're heading in the right direction. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Just take it easy. I think if there was one advice I'd give myself was just take it easy. Take it a little bit more easier than I did. Because the lessons will come, you know. The lessons will come. On a day-to-day, every day is an opportunity to learn something. So you mustn't stress yourself out too much. So I'm looking at this area over here. Maybe potential. Let's see if it probably does a V-shaped reversal again. Maybe for a way to get stuck in. That 15-minute rejection looks good for buy. Yeah, we got like... but you know, the higher time frame still look good to sell off though. There's clean range over there. But at least we got the hourly SMA. We got the 30-minute SMA tap. 15-minute possible rejection. Possible fakie below like support here by 29. Yeah, especially if we can get through like these other levels here. Not that it really matters, but it would be nice to at least get like a buy something like this and then fill that range. I think for a sell right now, I'd need price to pull up a bit more first. Hey, Jim. I'm starting gym again next month. I want to find a gym buddy. My work schedule is so different to most and go around 9 a.m. in the morning when it's empty and others are at work. Sad times. 9 a.m. in the morning. Nice. Yeah, I think like the people you see at gym in the mornings, they say they're usually more consistent than the ones which you're gonna see in the afternoons and evenings. And you're always gonna see the same people in the morning for some reason. But, you know, when the day goes by, there's like less commitment to go to the gym, especially if you're already exhausted from the day. So I think that's also pretty nice. You gotta start it early. Got that a Mark Wahlberg routine, man. That guy, I think, wakes up, what is it, like at 2 a.m.? 2 a.m. He starts going to the gym already from like 2 a.m. He goes to bed quite early. Bro, you're cooked. Yeah, exactly, you're cooked. No, you're cooked, bro. It's a sell. Sell that sheet. I'm in the gym from 5 a.m. every morning, Monday to Friday. The best routine I've ever had. I bet it's something therapeutic about it as well, you know. The whole world is sleeping, you're awake, it's quiet. I've never been a morning person though. Like I feel it weird to wake up so early like this. I always feel like I burn out personally throughout the day if I wake up really early. 48.4. And like gymming during that time is also kind of exhaustive for me. Let's say 48.4, 49. Put my stop loss right here. Yeah, because, you know, I read that actually people who gym later on in the day, I don't know if this is such a big edge. It's probably not that big of an edge, but your body is more warmed up and it's creating this kind of like chemical reaction where it's you have a little bit more energy. As opposed to gymming like, you know, first thing. But I don't think the edge is really that it makes such a big difference, to be honest. Hoping to get an entry here in the next maybe like 3 minutes or so. But it seems like candles are still moving up. Yeah, it looks like it's still pushing up. My job requires a lot of traveling, so I catch up on sleep throughout the day. Power naps are goated. I cannot go a day without a power nap. That's for sure. I think I was... Let's see, what minute 40? Come on, can this thing flip? You know, the thing about these candlesticks, it's 1.5 minutes left, but this thing could easily flip. And it could break up on the next candlestick, so that move can be quite fast. Yeah, bro's got that David Goggins mentality. Gym at 5 a.m, sir. Let's get it. All right, so we got about a... Is it like 30 seconds? What's gonna happen here? Yeah, this could be a fast one. It could literally flip right here. Five seconds, close like... Alright, so we just got a bullish closure. It's gotta wait a little bit longer. Brad Bagas. There she goes. Where is she going though? This is all high time frame volume. Get my position back in here. This is nice though. At least it pulled back heavily like this. See what it does below here. Maybe gives me a liquidity grab, confidence to shoot up. Oh, that's actually gonna look good. I love where we are. This is such a cozy place to be in. We're right in the crevices of price action. As price came down, created support. Got 2 minutes this candle here to close, and then we can move up like this. You have potential little fakey confirmations, especially if we get a fat rejection wick over here. That's gonna be nice. Yeah, I think it's very cozy. Let's see. I'll put this down here. We gotta take our time here, make sure everything's lining up beautifully. Okay, about like 30 seconds. Candlestick's about to close. I started learning trading in 2017, and the first thing I learned is still the most fundamentally true thing to understand to be a successful trader, and that's Ed Sekeyota's golden trading rules. Number 1, ride your... Okay, you got about 14 seconds here. Can't get into the... How many rules you said that was? Trading rules. Oh, we got about like 6 of them here. Nice. Number 1, ride your winners. All right, off to a good start. Ride your winners. We're gonna do this right here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we're good. See, cut your losses, manage your risk, use stops, stick to a system, file the news. Oh, file the news in the trash. File the news in the trash. Ed Seyokota, golden trading rule does not believe in news. File the news in the trash. Oh, you know, it started off so nice. Now I got a problem with that last point there. Anyway, let's see if price breaks resistance. If we can break the resistance, I think price can move up. Gonna get a few rejection wicks over here. Gonna have SMA confluences. The 5 minute looks good. We got some space below the 15, the 30, and the hourly. Hourly, we got the 50 SMA as confluence. We got about 18 minutes for the hourly closure. 30 minute will be reflipping, breaking of the 30 minute highs, which it shouldn't be doing if it doesn't want to move up. So we're bouncing off 30 minute SMA here as well. Notice how the SMAs are kind of like that again. Like we're in between them, right? So we might see a bit of consolidation. Got 4-hour SMAs in our favor too. I think, yeah, all in all, it should be a pretty nice move. I think I like this move. You know, like whenever you take a move, you just must be... The more you enjoy the move, I think the better it is for your psychology and everything as well. If it's a clean, clear move. Oh, he says, don't be silly enough to trade news such as NFP can cause slippage, and even if you have stops, it can slip your stops and you can lose it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if it means those type of red folders, 100%. pretty much just gambling, right? When you trade those. Bro looking for buys when it broke a range and 15 about to close bearish with a clean move down. Yeah, this is what I mean, man. Bro, you're cooked. You're cooked, man. That's what he's gonna say next. Oh man, he took this buy. Bro's cooked. But if it's a winning trade, there's no comments that follow. No more comments. That's the silence that I love. But let's see. 1 minute, 58 seconds. What can we do here? What can we do? But you know, the thing about trading is there's always a reason. Yeah, you're never going to have a trade that everyone is going to be on board with. There's always going to be someone says, oh, that's a sell. If you're looking for buy, and vice versa. So you must stay in your own lane. Oh, bro, you're cooked, bro. That's an L, bro. Whenever I'm on stream, bro, you lose, bro. Yeah. Well, you're winning. I don't know, like, where these guys come from sometimes. Like, you can literally win, like, 10 trades in a row, lose one, and some guy will say, oh, man, every time I'm on your stream, you're losing, bro. It's called rage bait. That's what it is. I think you're the Nightbot saying you can't use all caps. So we're waiting for a bit of structure here. It's going to make like a small little sideways movement as well. A little consolidation breakout there on the 1 minute. A little breaky on the 1 minute. Although we are coming in kind of early. The consolidation still does not look that clean. Man, I would love to see us start to take over these 8 SMAs. I feel like this support here, man, it could be really nice if we hold it. We're down 0.32%. You know, price is still moving down. Price is still moving down. 15 minutes about to close. Might get that 15-minute fake out confluence here. So notice how it's closing below support. Looks good for a little break and retest. So you see how it's breaking below this area? It looks good for a little break and retest to actually keep pushing down. But if it doesn't do that and you start to get candlesticks start to move up, that's going to be a fakey. It's going to be that fakey situation. Remember the one we spoke about early on in stream? Like these types of situations where you look at that and you wonder why price did this. Here, like this. So it's basically going to be like the same thing that I'm going to be expecting. A little bit of fakey there on the 15 for price to move up. I think that's going to be nice. I think that's going to be good. What about the 30-minute structure? What about it? It's coming down here. But, you know, when I take this trade, I'm not taking it based off of 30-minute. So I think for the 30-minute, if I get triggered in, this candle will be now bullish, leaving a bottom wick over here, rejecting the 50 SMA, which will be nice, and re-breaking its highs. Well, that's why you gotta wait, you know. It's gotta wait, because if you take a buy here, this is more risky because price is still moving down. So you probably take like, have a higher chance of taking a loss right there. Are you looking for a counter trend? Yes. Yeah, market's moving a bit slow right now. I mean, it's moving nicely, but for what I'm looking for, it's quite slow. 446. Maybe catch it in the next hourly candle, because this one's about to close in 13 minutes. I don't like the look of the SMA 8 for the 15 and 30 minute. It could be trouble. 15, yeah, and 30, that's true. It could be trouble. Could give us a bit of some pullbacks. Kind of like yesterday's sell. Taking counter trends, wanting problems always. Yes, that's true. I like problems. I like problems with the market. Tell it, give me your lunch money. I'm gonna take this counter trend. But you know, sometimes you get these counter trends and that's all that you have, right? Sometimes I can't even get the trending moves. But if I can get the trending moves, obviously I'm a lot more happy with the trending moves. Like if I'm taking a consolidation break, I'm much happier to take a sell right now because price is still moving down. But there's been a lot of times I've taken counter trend moves. And if I didn't take the counter trend move, then I could have lost the trending move. Because, you know, the idea is like price shouldn't break those highs if it doesn't want to push upwards. See, it's still pushing down. Usual price action will not break the highs unless, you know, there's something wrong with the move. Like here on the 30-minute, you see how I broke the highs? A little liquidity grab. But the ranges there were really small. On the lower time frames, they were not as clean. Like very small ranges. You got even a resistance right over here. But in this scenario, I would not be expecting a 30-minute grab like what we had all the way up here. Because also that was all the way up here. You know, we've already retraced. Look how far down we've retraced. Just need to get a confirmation. You see price is still moving down. It's like the 4-hour. Clean range on the 4-hourly. One hour as well. Yeah, bearish this 1 hour is. Today is slow news day, so I'm looking for London and NY market to work back to yesterday's lows. Yeah, I think that's what people are looking for. Correction. Maybe down towards the New York close, 3,300. Nice little psychological mark over there. Man, price just keeps moving down. And there's no sells. What can we do? Got 10 minutes for the hourly to close. I think it like maybe we can still get the fakie happen here. If candlesticks start to pull up again from this point. Hey guys, thanks for the 100 likes. Appreciate it. Yes, there should be a correction. Then we buy after at a premium price. It's kind of like in a distribution because, you know, it was consolidating here for quite some time. And now it's breaking away from that zone. But wow, look at this. Candlestick still did not create a top wick. It's completely dumped. But that's where it's distributing from. This general region here. Yeah, I guess that's what people are looking at on the left-hand side. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I still haven't seen anything I want to take yet. What's that? Congrats to whoever shorted on the 15 break. On the 15 pips in the bag. Shorted on the 15 break. You talking about this? This is when the hourly candlestick started. It's about to close. You know about like a fake out here. It's only candle which broke something. Still waiting on this fakie. I want to get a fakie over here. I see this. I want to see the sellers get faked out. Could get a V-shaped reversal here and then have price break above these highs to move up bullish. Fill this range. Come on, Goldie. That'd be a beautiful reversal as well, because it would not only be faking out that small level of structure down here, you'll also be faking out this larger structure above here, where it's consolidating mainly. Boom, boom, because a lot of people are looking for these sells. Yeah, everyone's in the chat's also talking about sells. This is a very obvious, like it's a very obvious, but not in a good way type of sell, because the range here is huge. You know, this is going to be much harder for people to miss this range. It's like 222 pips. It's a really big range. It could correct that move. The question is, how is it going to correct that move? Can you get the clean sweep that you're looking for, or are we going to have some retracements first? I'm always expecting retracements. When the range is huge like that, always expecting like some kind of trickle. So sometimes you're going to see like a really big move down, then you're going to come into the session and everyone's looking to correct this move. And it corrects it, but it does it in a very difficult way like this. So kind of hoping to get like a push upwards. If it sells, you know it sells. I don't have any entries for the sells. Heck, I might even get a buy instead of like all the way up over here. I might even get one right here. So it depends on how the candles close. Might lock in. But I'm going to have quite a tight stop loss. That's the thing. It's going to be like 20 pips. I'd actually prefer move like if it came up like this. Because the stop's going to be really tight here. And we're going to be with the new hourly open. Let's move this little box. Really nice to get one more fakie below that support. Oh, but I'll need to wait for 5-minute closure. If I could get like a fakie here, 5-minute closure, and then break up the highs. It's kind of like a similar situation like yesterday. Remember yesterday's trade? The one for the buys? Look what happened. Price came down. It was following accumulation. Price came down. It created this kind of like structure here. And then filled up the range towards resistance. So this is like a similar sort of area that we're currently in. Like, the concept is more or less the same. As I'm waiting for confirmations. Oh, I gotta do your morning stretches. Oh. Market teaching us to be patient. Yeah, I got 2 minutes. Man, I used to have a standing desk, you know, but standing desk kind of gets a bit it kind of gets a bit tiring after a while. Just want to sit down. All right, Goldie. Man, Goldie's been moving down for a minute now, guys. Like, since the London Open, we've just pretty much been seeing bearish price action. We haven't yet gotten a retracement. This is going to be the first buy. I'm going to be the first buyer here. I'm sure other people attempted some buys previously, but with this type of structure that I'm looking for, I think I'm going to be the first buyer. Nice. So we're getting an hourly open. It'll be nice to create those hourly lows before hourly highs. And it's still dumping. This could be one of the last grabs over here. I want to see this become a liquidity grab. Sellers will keep pushing. Let's see, we got some time. We're about to get volume in. Hourly volume. This is going to be quite volatile, I think. If it comes up, I'm expecting it to be volatile. This is hourly lows. Gonna be quite volatile. Oh, you guys got a new 4-hour? You see, this is gonna be quite volatile. All right, guys. So break these highs. I'm going to be locked in. Oh, but wait. Got to wait for a candlestick here to close. Oh, yeah. Got to wait like 3 minutes. I still need this candle here to close first. Give me the closure. We got SMAs against us right now. Not looking too good with the SMAs, but it is what it is. Those are just indicators. Would be nice to have them in our favor, though. Keep adjusting the SL. You reckon I would just be adjusting it all the way to the bottom of the range? At some point, it becomes invalidated. All right. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm going to take my buy over here and I'm going to call it... Not going to call it a day. Probably trade again later. Don't break right now, Goldie. Don't make me readjust everything. Everything's so nicely set right now. But these are the fakies I'm talking about. This is what I want to get. I want to cash this little fakie over here because majority of people are looking for sells right now off the higher time frame. Yes, normally people just adjust the SL like that on drawdown. Oh yeah, man, that's the worst. 1 minute looks nice. See that 1 minute? Yeah, I want to give these guys some whips. See how that 15 is looking. Tap into any ranges. See, I mean supports. See the 5 minute again. Got about 1 minute left. Want to see this support here being formed. I'm trying to get on that liquidity grab. Remember, it's just the same one that we spoke about. Basically, same idea as this. Is he price shoot up? One hour candle don't have wicks at all. And now we got wicks. We created hourly lows, so it should be good to create hourly highs. Be nice to get this thing closed like bullish. Got about 20 seconds. Good buys coming soon. All right, nice. Get my support here. Ranges look good. Now I'm looking for a break of the highs. Looking for breaking of the highs. Still being patient over here. Even if it's like we're counter trending, we still want to be patient. And by the way, if you look at the trend, it's the daily is down 0.40% right now. It's still not a lot. You know the amount of times I've seen price move from 0.40 around this area all the way back up to 0? Like within just within an hour or two, you know? Like it happens. This is not really a trend where it's like, oh, the daily's down -1% and there's something moving the markets. This is literally already up already down 0.35%. And once we start hitting those 20s, it might as well just be a doji candle in terms of directional bias on the daily. I think as we break these highs, the daily should be down like 0.32%, something like that. Come on, it's consolidating, struggling here, which is a good sign. Because if people are in sells right now and it's struggling for them to move down, the moment we start breaking these highs would be... You know, if you're in a sell right now and we start to break around where I'm looking to enter, it's obviously not something that you'd be happy to have happen because you have clean candles here on the left-hand side. Your drawdown could be quite big. It would be nice anyway, like let the SMA on the 5 minute come down a little bit more. We're getting our entries above the SMA at least to avoid, you know, try to avoid as much of a kiss of death as possible. No. Yesterday was -1% to positive. Oh yeah, exactly. That's a very good example. Over here. See, yesterday it was -1% to positive. So everybody's saying, oh, short-term trend. Where were your short-term trends yesterday? Look at this. Daily candlestick. A short-term bullish. Look at this. Yesterday's daily candle. It came all the way down here. And then it reflipped and close bullish. So you see, like, that's why I'm saying let's be a little careful about the words that you say. You know, because yesterday I bet you a lot of people thought that daily was going to close bearish, but it didn't. Anything can happen in the market. Always remember that. You think it's bearish now? Man, you're going to look at this trade. Maybe this trade in the next hour is going to be all the way up over here. And then what are you going to say? You know, now you're going to start saying something else. You're going to say something else because the market is controlling whatever you feel. I'm just trading what I need to trade for now based off of the structure that I'm seeing. Wherever it goes after my trade is done, you know, that's whatever. I'm going to come back next session and then trade again. Get a small piece of the cake. I don't need to be right. You know, I just need to have a profitable trade. But wherever the market goes today, I give two shits. It can go down, sideways, upwards. I just need these little small pockets of opportunity where I can follow my rules, get a potential move, and then move on to the next trade. That's it. It's much harder speculating on where the market's actually going to go. Proper consolidation on the 1 minute. Yeah, getting nice consolidation. So this will be like a consolidation breakout. Yeah, this is like a consolidation breakout. Consolidating after breaking a key level of structure, which is the one here. We just need to get back above these highs to confirm some sort of momentum. And you know, if it triggers me in and moves down, then I'm going to see if like, how can I reduce my stop loss? You know, that's the next thing. But right now we must focus, or at least I must focus on execution. And then the next thing will be risk management. But risk should also be managed before you get into the trade as well. Nice. SMA is coming down. This is good. On the 5. Got plenty of room over there for the 15 and the hourly. You see this thing rip up. Because I know the sellers right now, they're having a hard time pushing it down. I think price will have a better shot moving down if it can break below like 33.22. Oh, but that's what I've been waiting for now. Gotta wait for this hourly. Why are you fixated on the buys? Sells at this level look better now? Not for a 5-minute play. If you're trading a higher time frame, then ooh, got a little chill there. Yeah, if you're trading on the 15 or the 30, I mean, like the high time frames look like they're moving down, correct? But I'm usually trading on the lower time frames. That a vodka? No, it's not. It's water, brother. H2O, sir. I actually hate vodka. Vodka is like my least favorite alcohol beverage. Don't like vodka. I was listening to a podcast today and guy said 2 of us can enter the same trade and the same time. One of us makes money and the other gets an L. About management, really? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because one person can be too greedy and they're always too greedy and they're taking the L's. So they're having more winning days becoming losing days. What's your go-to drink? Of late, I've been drinking a lot of, well, like when I go out, it's just a wine. A lot of wine and beers. Wine and beers, yeah. Maybe like a cocktail. A random cocktail here and there. But I think it always changes, you know? It always changes. So right now, I'm doing like pretty much wine and beers. Whiskeys, not so much. I used to love Captain Morgan. Rum. Yeah, rum is pretty nice. Captain Morgan used to be nice. I guess if I'm doing whiskeys, maybe something like a Glenfiddich. Those are pretty nice. Those are smooth. I don't like you know, stuff like Jack Daniels, for example. It's pretty strong. Maybe the honey Jack Daniels actually tastes kind of nice. There was a time I really liked the honey Jack Daniels. I used to order it every time I go out. I would just order it, but I haven't drunk it in a while. Kind of like the buzz from wine, you know? Especially for pre-drinks. Wine is pretty polite. So what I typically do, like when I meet with my mate, we get like a pretty big bottle or at least, yeah, I think like at least 2 liters of wine. Get you in a really nice buzz, you know? And you're not drunk or anything, and you can still have a full-on night. Yeah, pretty much like pre-drinks. Yeah, you can catch my drift. A little bit of vino. It's good. It's healthy for you. The next interest for buys on GJ is around the 94 mark, which is where it's right now. But I need to wait for hourly close before I pull the trigger. Yes. Nothing better than the buzz of money? Yes. Actually, that's true. Nothing's better than the buzz of money. That is a lot more addicting than anything else. I think making money is very addicting. It's only when you get bored. When you get bored and you feel like you've already accomplished the game, that's when you really get tested. You know, because that's when you can easily throw it all away. Do 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 do. Come on, Goldie. These sellers right here, if we start pulling up and breaking these highs, I'm expecting kind of a strong pop upwards. Yeah, I must go back to Cape Town for wine tasting. That's one thing I never did when I was there. I never managed to get to the vineyards. Vineyards. 15 bullish last candle. Oh, now look at this. Volume's coming in. Can I get a move? Can I get a buy? See, the way I'm looking at it here is basically, again, got sellers in the market right now. They're expecting the HTF to keep pushing price down. They want that range to get filled up. But you can see the market's hesitating, right? Look at the way the market's behaving right now. It's hesitating a little bit. It's only going to have a continuation if it can at least try and re-break these lows to push down again. But this is in a very, very delicate situation that the market is in right now. Very delicate. There's going to be a move. Think about it this way. Think about it like a bus stop, right? Now we're all just waiting over here underneath that little bench. And the bus has yet to come. So once we start breaking here or here, that's the time that the bus has arrived. And we should start moving. Do, 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 do. Nice little consolidation on the 1 minute though. Looks very good. All this hustle and risk to get 20 pips of profit, you gotta be kidding me? Yeah, I mean, that's what trading is, right? It's the hardest way to make easy money. Sometimes the setups come in earlier. Like sometimes I can be on the charts for a few minutes, sometimes maybe an hour. It really depends on the market. Like today it's been, how long have we been on the charts for? Maybe like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Still waiting for my entry here. I can't control myself when I drink. Try not to drink more. I enjoy a good drink. I can control myself. I think I can right now outdrink most of my friends. Went out like a couple of weeks ago and man, everybody was dead, but we were still soldiering on. It's because, you know, when you don't go out a lot, you have a lot more energy. Because a lot of my friends, they go out like quite often. So I don't go out that often. You know, I don't go out that often. So when I go out, I think I have a lot more energy. But of course, if you do it too much, it's not good. What does it matter how many pips? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Someone can catch even 10 pips from this and make $100,000. You know, that guy's probably good for the rest of the year. And it's a really big risk if he doesn't have that type of money. But just imagine, some people have that type of money, you know? I feel like retail traders, we're the ones who make the least money in the markets. Oh, come on, Goldie. I hope today's just not going to be just a melt day. If this hourly just keeps melting, might not get a setup here today. But I want to see this region get respected. I want to see the support area here get respected. Candlestick to reflip and break the highs. It's a good time to enter a buy. No, it's too risky, man. It's too risky. Price is moving down still. This is a fly move, guys. Like honestly, if what I'm expecting, if this is gonna be the buy, this is gonna be the confirmed buy, this thing's gonna fly. It's gonna fly, Goldie. Hey, but I appreciate the likes, guys. Thanks for tuning into the stream today. Practicing a lot of patience as this fine bottle of wine here matures nicely. The more time it takes within this region over here, then hopefully we're gonna get a really nice dry wine, and then price can move up. All right, looks like we're starting to come up here. We might have gotten a small little liquidity grab confluence in there. You can see how this 5-minute candle shot down below and started pulling back up aggressively, right? I think this is happening on the 1 minute. There's a bit more structure there on the 1 minute, you will see. But that could be the liquidity grab to shoot above. Still respecting support here on the 5. See, it already tried to come down, but it didn't push down. Alright, I'm about to get triggered in here. Yep, alright, awesome. Let's freaking go. So now I'm expecting price to continue to move up. Because it's struggling. We got the sellers in here. Like, price has struggled to move down for quite some time. So I think, you know, now they're breaking resistance. And look at the volume that's coming in right here. You know, we just got a 5-minute candlestick push up like 30 pips. Look at this volume. So I'm expecting that we can keep moving up now. Because price does not usually behave like this when it wants to move down. Correct, guys? So let's see what happens. I think it's pretty good.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Alright, so we're taking over the 8 SMA now. Just close above the 8 SMA on the 5-minute. So the hourly is currently bullish. Small consolidation breakout there on the 1-minute. Come on, fly Goldie. Nice, re-breaking the highs of the previous 5. Look good, additional confirmations. Fly, Goldie, fly. Because you see, like, the way the candle's behaving now, it seems more of like we're about to get that 10%. Remember, guys, like, trading, most of the time trading is just waiting. It's just waiting, and this is that 10% we're trying to catch. So yeah, this is the trade that I'm taking. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. Come on, pump it, pump it. Oh man, look at these comments. I hope you become my liquidity. Godspeed, Glenn. All the best to you, sir. Oh. That's the only one thing I love about the cells. Just in general, like that just always tend to move so much faster. Hold the line. Grab my profit, thanks. Oh, I thought you were gonna hold a bit longer. For me to become your liquidity, you must at least break below 33.22 there, Glenn. Why'd you close so early? I haven't sold anything yet. Ouch, I whipped you out. Your stop loss is too tight because, you know, like it needs to break structure. Like price needs to get through this level for that to be, for that to invalidate the buy moves. Oh, yeah, it's coming down quite heavy. See, will it actually take me out? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Holy. Wow, that really took me out heavy on this push over here. Yeah, looks like I got liquidated. Wow, that took me out quite quickly. It was progressing so nicely up until that point. Oh, damn. That was like a lot of volatility over here. It was progressing so nicely. I really thought this was going to be the move up, that we can get the move up from here. Holy. Look at this hourly. Hourly candle reflip back bearish and then start pushing heavy. Damn. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Maybe it starts to move up again. You know, maybe I just got caught in a bit of whiplash because it might give that fidget spinner type of price action over here. Because you can see we have some... It's still kind of like spinning. It hasn't really like picked a direction yet. It's broken the lows, but at the same time it's broken the highs. It could also just be shaking out it could have been shaking out the sellers at the same time shaking out the buyers before it has its real move. That's what it looks like, at least so far. Yeah, I'm just gonna monitor price and see what it does. Not much I can do about that, to be honest. If the shark wanted it, it's gonna get it. Yep, I think it was it looks like a shakeout. It looks like it's shaking out everybody. Because this is not how price would normally behave. You don't typically get such volatility and such wicks. Still think it was a good move. I still think there's a high probability that if there's a buy, that it was coming out of this zone. that this was one of the first zones a buy is coming out of. Now it's just a matter of, is the market gonna give you that buy? You know, so now that's what I want to figure out here. Whether this is just a normal loss for me, or if I was wrong, that's like saying basically if I was wrong about the direction, if it just keeps moving down, or if it was a shakeout and then price still moved upwards in my original idea. So that's what I'm kind of waiting to see now. Well, grab your profit. Glad, how many times can you close a trade? If you said you already closed it once, you can't close it again, sir. Once you're out, you're out. Let's see what happens here. Dun, 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 dun. Because if I want to move down, it could have already moved down from that point. Once it hit below 33.22. That's why I want to see why it's coming back up like that. Damn, that was a massive candlestick. That's like 30 pips on the 1 minute. Broke back above the SMAs as well, so that looks nice. It still respected the 8 SMA. So if you use the line graph, you can see that wick there. There's no wick, correct? Obviously, we're just looking at the candlestick bodies. Because the candlestick wicks, you know, they can do a lot of these things. They can have a lot of these, I don't know if you call them manipulations. Like this. You get really long wicks, but you look at the candlestick bodies still being respected. It's just the wick that kind of, that's the thing that gets liquidity out. That's why sometimes when you're on these sketchy brokers, the sketchy broker might just have like a huge wick like this, right? And you look at your chart and the wick was not that big. So that's also partly the roles of the wicks in the market. So I'm not taking it too personally. I just want to see where price goes next. You know, there's nothing I can do about that. Enter, sell, revenge. No, I'm not going to revenge. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Why would I revenge trade? I'm already up for the month so nicely. There's no point for me to revenge. I don't think, you know, like every time I revenge trade, I always lose. Like it can always create the hole to be deeper, or you're gonna have a much more harder day. You're gonna have a much longer day. I think the only time that I revenge traded here was just so I could get out of break even, which was, there's a crazy day here. We took like 4 trades. I think this was a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it was this day. It was this day. It was the beginning. It was the beginning of this month that I took 4 trades. I over traded because I took a win, then I took a loss, and I took another loss, and I just wanted to come out or end the day with a bit of profit. So that worked out for me. But you know, I would not recommend it. I would definitely not recommend it. Yeah, but that was a brutal whiplash. Whiplash so heavy to do nothing now. That was freaky. Oh, you still got 350 bucks. That was Freaky Thursday. Yes. We enter again, longs. You been giving a second chance? You know, one thing with psychology with the market is sometimes it might give you that illusion that yeah, that was a fake out, and then you're like, oh, I can't accept this. Then you take another trade and then it comes down again. So that's one thing that, you know, you're always planning the worst case scenario. So if something like that was to happen, you already have to acclimatize your psychology to that happening again. If you don't acclimatize your psychology to that happening again, you're going to be on tilt. The worst thing is for anybody to tilt, even if you play poker or any sort of sport. When you tilt, you can't really perform well. So for me, it's just about observing right now. Because clearly the market's doing something. You know, it doesn't look like it's going to be too friendly over here. Because usually when you have like a winning trade, it's not going to give you a hard time like this. So man, if you see there's like a shark in the water of some sort, then usually the best thing is just to observe a bit. Where are we heading to, Goldie? I want to see your true intentions here, buddy. Oh no, it just came back on the charts. Typhoon decided to attack your washing. Yeah, that's a nice weather to trade in. No problem, Vic. You know what you're doing? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Five-minute, literally your worst entries. All is bearish. 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Yes. I'm just going to agree with you. No, you're correct. You're very correct. 4 hour, daily, everything's bearish. I think for the whole day, we should just move bearish. Don't you agree? Because the 1 hour and the 4 everything's bearish. Maybe the whole day we should just move bearish. I think you're right. You're very right. Let's see. Some people only take a few... It's taking its sweet, sweet time now. Re-entry? Nah. I'm done. My best trades never do this. My best trades can never do this. I think it's nice if it moves up. That was the original plan. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, like it... If the market really didn't want to pay, then, you know, it's fine. Let the market do its thing. You just got to come back a different time. Remember, the market is not your friend. Sometimes it's going to pay you and it's not going to give you a hard time. And other times it does like some Judas type of behavior like this. It's just going to get you out. And what that's doing is just, it's building your character. That's all that the market is doing. So there's two ways you can take this. You can play the victim all you want and price is going to move up. Or you can just, you know, remain in control. Hey, good morning. I'm seeing a good setup on oil. Looks like a good setup on oil. Yeah, you gotta send in a chart. I think that's what you gotta do. You got to send a chart in. I don't know what it's setting up for. Yeah, that's the worst. Like, even if you look at it from an accumulation break standpoint, you see this area over here, price broke above it. So the buyers got screwed here. And then the sellers who were to use this as a confluence for continuations, because, you know, the 1 hour and 4 hour bearish, then they also got screwed. Now price is just holding this level. Actually, it just looks like chop. Since the London Open over here, we had swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down. This is the only place that we're actually getting some form of structure, but it's looking like a little bit more like choppiness. Now, a lot more wicks are starting to fill. A lot more of the wicks are starting to be created here since the London Open. But it's nice. I like that trade. I like that trade because it also went in line with a little consolidation break here. So like a consolidation X shotgun. I'm gonna wait for price to move. I'm still gonna take another. I'm still planning on taking out another trade later, but might want to see price move a little bit from this area. Maybe this could still give me an opportunity. I won't buy now, but maybe if price just continues printing a little bit more, if we can get a bit more structure, that would be the best case scenario. Because I can't get a good read on price right now. Reason being is because it broke the highs and it came down, it broke the lows and it ripped back upwards, and now it's just sitting here. So it's like, it's kind of like hard to read what price really wants to do. Oh well. It did the same thing as earlier this morning. I'm just aiming at the spot. I was not waiting to do this. All looked really good on the 1 minute and 5 minute. Yeah, I think it's fine. Truvik, don't do revenge. I can't tell anyone my learning from revenge trading, especially those late Friday nights after 2 bottles of wine waiting for NY Open. Yeah, I can never revenge. Can never revenge. Can never revenge. The thing is, like, you know, it's just, it definitely would not be consistent at all. That's outside of the data that you've collected. Because when you do your backtesting, you don't backtest revenge trade scenarios. You only backtest playbook scenarios. See what GJ is doing. Since the London open. Looks like GJ came down, pulled up. Now pushing down, bearish. Not so clean. GJ is currently, what is it, like up 0.14%. Also not really trending much. I feel like GJ is going to skyrocket, guys. Might catch this later. I don't want to catch any moves right now. I want to see how this thing progresses. Still don't like the consolidation here because price came down. Wait, let's see from here. If it shoots up now, it's going to create like an inverted head and shoulders. This will be the left shoulder head. This will be the right shoulder. Then you start to see candlesticks move something like this. That's what I think. But you must wait for either of these areas here to break. At least for now. Hourly is about to close. Got hourly doji here. It's about to close in like the next 10 minutes. I got my 4-hour closing here in the next 10 minutes as well. Kind of interesting to see how it closes with these SMAs. Would be nice for a move up if that 4-hour could pull up above the 8 SMA there a little bit more. Same time, we got daily at a kind of daily support area here, but you could possibly have a wick fill on the daily as well. Price could come down. The only thing would be a daily wick fill. Sort of like what's happening now with this long wick. That'll be like a daily wick fill. The 1-hour SMA is the issue, I think. Oh, damn, I didn't even realize. Yeah, we got 1-hour SMA right above there. Trading above the against the 1-hour SMA. Also, the 30-minute is still being respected. Because the candlestick flipped now. No. Is the market now mixed and volatile? Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's mixed. It's mixed like a bag of mixed nuts. That's how it looks. There's nothing too clear coming out of this yet. Maybe in my trade I had 15-minute SMA 8 and 50 and messed up your trade. Can you show where you got? Yeah, just go on my Discord over here. It's under TFX signals. That was a trade this morning. It's really nice. Nice little sell. Down towards support. So you got clean range, left hand side. It's kind of like an X swing entry model, but with a tighter stop loss. Our price was breaking below support. And then coming down towards this next level of support. So this was the main target over here. That was the main move. I see now price is starting to re-break these lows again. How much did we break by? 1.5, 2 pips. Yeah. After hit buy stop loss, I take revenge sell. W revenge. Nice. Might as well move down, I guess, because the candle's reflipping. It's trying to break the lows. Got a little support there on the 30. Rebreak of the lows. My ego wants to see it move up. My ego wants to see it skyrocket up. And then I can say, I told you so. I told you. Just because the 1 hour and 4 hour bearish doesn't mean that price is going to move down all day. Looks like I'm not going to get that opportunity here. Oh well. Alright guys, I'm going to head out now. I'm going to take a little break and then come back on the charts later. See if this mess can clear up. And then we'll see what I'm going to do. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream nonetheless. And I will catch you in the next one. Adios.
Now we bout to dip. My boy said to stay.